Hi, it's Ollie from Get Geek, and today I'm going to be doing a video unboxing and review of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, I've been waiting for this for quite a while, so I'm pretty excited that this has actually turned up now. So without further ado, let's get to it. So if you're in the UK, you get a choice of the OnePlus 8 or the OnePlus 8 Pro. With the 8 Pro, there are two colours. There is Onyx Black, which I've gone for here, or there is also Glacial Green. Now, the difference between the two models is that the Onyx Black is slightly cheaper and is 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the Glacial Green is 12 gigabytes and 256, I believe. Wow, so there we have it. So I've waited a long time for this. So there we go. It says it's an Onyx Black. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. It's got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 and it's got Dolby Atmos. So this is to open here. Ooh. So there we have the never settle, what do you call it, slogan by OnePlus. And here's the phone itself, which is, how do we get it out here? Oh, that's weird, that it's slightly folded over. So this is a 6.78 inch AMOLED 120 Hz display. It's really stuck down. Oh. So, ooh, don't want to drop that. Wow, that feels nice. And there you can see there's the Onyx Black. Now, I wasn't sure what the back colour was going to be like, but it's actually nicer than I expected, if I'm being honest, because in the photos it didn't come out that well, and it's obviously hard to tell, but it's more like a, I don't know, a really dark grey, but obviously it's slightly mirrored so you can see my face in it. So that is going to pick up fingerprints 100%. But yeah, first impressions, it's nice. The camera bump, I know a lot of people had complained about that, but okay, yeah, it is big when you look at it properly side on like that, but it's not that bad. And then we've got, at the bottom, we've got a speaker, USB-C, and a SIM card slot there. On the side you've got your volume up, volume down, your power, and then that's your special OnePlus slider, which I think is for changing your notifications, or sorry, changing whether it's on silent. So, okay, what else do we have in the box? Ooh, so there's a load of stuff in here. So what have we got in here? Oh, that's nice. So they've actually supplied 2 screen protectors, and even better, I wasn't sure how they do this. They have got curved edges. I don't know if you can see this because obviously it's got a waterfall display on it, so they have managed to put that on a screen protector. So they will go on afterwards. Some safety information. Not sure what it's going to warn you about, but there you go. Have a look at that later. Quick start guide. Have a look at that later. Highest SAR value. Really don't know what that is. It's a bit random. And then, okay, you've got a load of stickers here as well. So if you want to put them on your laptop, there's some for those. And then, okay, just some contact information and an invitation letter. Ooh, what's this? Oh, well, there's a SIM card thing here. And then the true cases, actually. This is your OnePlus 8, a smartphone handmade. So, let's start that again. This is your OnePlus, a smartphone made hand in hand with our community. The OnePlus community is one that we listen to, engage with and learn from. Without your feedback, the OnePlus 8 series would be just like any other smartphone, but it isn't. Being empowered by you lets us make this truly empowering device. 6 years ago we started OnePlus because we weren't satisfied with the status quo. Our journey has been far from easy, but we never stop pursuing a better way of doing things, and we invite you to do the same. We want to hear from you. Find us on the community app on your new phone. Never settle. Pete. I think that says Pete anyway. Cheers, Pete. Oh, and that's cool. So they've included a case in here. It's got the never settle slogan down the side of it. I don't know why I can't remember that word at the moment. I'm not sure if that's for me, if I'm being honest. I don't really like logos and slogans on my clothes or anything, if I'm being honest. So, don't know. I'll be using that for now as I don't have another one and I'm waiting for mine to arrive in the post. And then what else do we have? So we've got, because I'm in the UK, a 3-pin UK power charger. Now, this does do fast charging, and I believe it's 30 watt powered charge, sorry, 30 watt charge through the cable, and it's also 30 watt wireless charging if you've got the OnePlus Charge Up, which I don't actually have. And this is their on branding USB-C charging cable. And then, do we have anything else in here? No, that is it. So I'm going to get this set up and I'm going to have a little play, and then I'll be back with a full review shortly. So after doing the unboxing yesterday, I put a screen protector on this phone, one of the ones that comes with the box, and it is not a very good screen protector, and it's also coming away along the edges. So if you do buy this phone, I recommend you order some screen protectors at the same time, because these aren't very good. So as I mentioned yesterday, this phone has a Snapdragon 865 with 5G on it, and an Adreno 650 GPU. It's also IP68 waterproof as well, which I'm not going to test as some other people have, but I'm sure it is waterproof, and it's nice to know in case I do accidentally drop it in the bath or something like that. So as mentioned yesterday, it's a 6.78 inch fluid AMOLED display with up to Qual HD Plus or FHD Plus at 120 Hz and 513 ppi. And I'm not going to lie, it is one of the best displays I've actually ever seen on a phone. And when you drag your finger across it, it is silky smooth. And I did actually flip it back to the 60 Hz from the 120 Hz. And you can really notice the difference when going back to 60 Hz. And so there's no way I'm going to be going back to 60 Hz. And I wasn't sure if it was going to drain the battery as well. So I charged it up to fully at 100% at say 11 PM last night. And since then, it's now 6:34 and I'm down to 75%. And that's running on 120 Hz and on the full HD plus resolution. I don't think you'd actually really need to go as far as the Qual HD. I mean, this looks amazing. I mean, if you're watching some content on YouTube or Netflix, maybe you'd want to do that, or a video that you've downloaded. So some people have complained about the waterfall display because the edges are it's quite a sharp edge on the waterfall. Now you can notice tiny bit of distortion on this, but I mean, it's nothing bad it's not unusable in any shape or form. And then other people have been complaining that when they touch the side of the phone, it's causing it to do things. Now I've not run into this issue. Whether or not it's my hand size is just right for this phone, I don't know, but I've not had that happen once to me yet. So touch wood, that still won't happen. Also, the optical fingerprint reader under the AMOLED display is real fast. I've only put a couple of my fingerprints on it at the moment, but it unlocks really quick. Also, I set up the face display unlock, which works ridiculously quick. I mean, as soon as I press the power button and my face is in view, it pretty much unlocks instantly. Done. It's insane. So yeah, I'm very impressed with that. Now, one of the other highlights of this screen is how bright it goes. I've never seen a phone go as bright as this. It's actually crazy bright. I mean, you are not going to struggle to see this in any sunny days. I mean, I've yet to try it on a sunny day here, but when you turn it up to full brightness, you might as well be using it as a torch. It's that bright. And that's, I say that as a joke, but it's half true. So yesterday I wasn't sure about the case because of the slogan on it, but now that it's on my phone, it's not as noticeable as I expected. The only thing is with this case on is you kind of lose some of the shininess because of the matte dimpled effect that they've kind of put on the back of the case in between the phone and the case. But for now I'm going to keep this case on because I was looking on Amazon and it seems that a lot of the cases, they seem to have one cutout rather than two for the cameras, and I feel like that's going to get scratched if there's only one cutout. And actually with the case on, there still is a little bit of rock on the phone, but it's not as bad as what it was. So while we're talking about the camera bump anyway, we might as well go on to the cameras. So the main sensor is a 48 megapixel Sony, is it IMX689? Yeah, that's the one. And then we've also got an 8 megapixel telephoto and a 48 megapixel ultra wide. And then the fourth camera is a bit of an old one with like color filtering on it. So right now I'll just show you some examples of photos I've taken. So here's a macro one. Here's one that was shot with the ultra wide. Here's one not ultra wide. Here's a portrait. There's some funky video settings also that as I noticed, like a slow-mo. Now I did try to get this bird, but it's obviously the colour of the bird is the same as the bark at the end of the garden, so it's not the best video. But the slow-mo is really cool. The macro lenses I'm impressed with. You can get some sick shots with that actually. So now in comparison to the OnePlus 7, the selfie camera on that one used to pop up. Now this one's got a hole punch in the top left. Now I don't really mind that if I'm being honest, but the benefit of that is now that the camera is IP68 water resistant. So like I said earlier, if you do accidentally drop it in the bath or something like that, then hopefully it should survive, touch wood. Now the selfie camera, it doesn't have autofocus, but as you can see, here's a photo and it seems to do the bokeh effect not too bad as well, and it doesn't look too fake either. So this is running Oxygen OS, which is built on Android 10, and it's one of the closest builds you're going to get to stock Android on a phone, and there's a lot of possible customizations if you want to tailor the phone to your style, but I like it. It's smooth, it's fast, it's responsive, it's really good. Now as you can see on the 4K video, there's an option for super stabilization, which is one of the other cool features, and I was impressed with it. It's almost like I've got a gimbal. It's really good, and there's different qualities. You can go up to 40k. Sorry, you can go up to 4K at 60 frames per second. So the battery is a 4,510 milliamp hour battery. It does support wireless charging at 30 watt, and the actual charging, the cable charging is 30 watt. It also supports reverse wireless charging for those who have like earbuds that charge wirelessly, which is quite a cool addition. So the speaker quality on this is very good. Just for an example, I'll play you something now. One of the cool features this phone has is a motion graphics smoothing option. Now, because it's got a 120 Hz screen, it has the ability to smoothen normal video, which is shot at say 23, 24, 30 frames per second. So you end up with just this smoothing going on if you want to turn it on, but I've not enabled that. Now, one of the unfortunate things about this phone is that it doesn't have a headphone jack, but I mean, we are in 2020, so most phones coming out nowadays don't have headphone jacks on them, and a lot of people nowadays are starting to have wireless headphones. So, I mean, if you still have a pair of headphones, like a 3.5mm jack, then you can get an adapter for it. Now, I do like to carry around a spare pair of headphones because there's been many a time when my headphones have gone dead when I'm on a bike ride and then you've got no music for the rest of it. So I will be purchasing one of these adapters. So would I recommend this phone? I mean, it is at 800 quid in the UK for the starting price of the 8GB and 128GB of storage. And then the next model up is, I think, 899 for the 256GB and the 12GB. And I would like to say, I mean, this phone has everything that a flagship should have. And for the price, it's probably the cheapest flagship you are going to find if you compare it to the other ones. So I would say right now it is an absolute buy. I mean, that is if you're in the market for a high-spec flagship phone. Other than that, then you're looking at your mid-range phones, and then there's a lot on the Chinese market as well, which aren't bad as well. I mean, you've got the Poco F2 coming out soon, but again, that's going to be a mid-range phone, and I think that's just a rebranded Redmi K30 Pro. But yeah, we're yet to see that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tech related videos with reviews and tutorials and unboxings, then subscribe to this channel. If you've got any questions, then leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It's been Ollie from Get Geek. Thanks, bye.